now.
Okay, go. Okay, so today we're going to do systems of equations, but we're going to do word problems and then translate it into a system of equations. The problem is one integer is 7 greater than another. Okay, so one integer is 7 greater than another. We're going to call the one integer a. Let a be an integer. Learn how to spell here. Okay, and we're going to say let b be the other integer. Okay, so we got two letters, two variables that are going to define our numbers, our integers that we're talking about. So now we're going to have to just translate this sentence into math. It's an English sentence right now. One integer is 7 greater than another. So we got to kind of think about that for a second. Which one is bigger? Okay, well, one integer is 7 greater than another. So let's call a one integer. A is one integer. Is means equals. Is an English word, but it means equals in math. 7 greater than means whatever we're talking about, we're going to add 7 to it. And then another, so the other integer is b. And there we go. We just translated our English sentence into a math sentence. A equals b plus 7. And then kind of take a look at it and see, does it make sense? One integer is 7 greater than another. And I think we got it. Okay, now let's take a look and see if we can do the next sentence. Because remember, there's going to be two equations. Okay, and this one's going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to take some shortcuts writing it. The larger integer is 29 less than. And this is the tough part. Stay with me here. The larger integer is 29 less than the opposite of the smaller. Let's see if we can make sense of that. So the larger integer is 29 less than the opposite of the smaller. That sounds like a lot, but let's see if we can't kind of condense that into math. It's going to look nice and pretty when we're done with it. Okay, so the larger integer. Well, let's try to remember, what was the larger integer? It turns out a is larger. So let's go ahead and just start translating right now. Larger integer, a, is, remember is means equals. So a equals 29 less than something. Let's not try to do too much at once. So it's 29 less than something. Remember, greater than something was plus 7. So 29 less than something, that's going to be whatever it is minus 29. Whatever it is we're talking about. We haven't gotten there yet. But so we're going to take away 29 from whatever it is. Now let's keep going and see what we're subtracting from. It's 29 less than the opposite of the smaller. So let's see if we can't figure out what that means. The smaller, well, a is the bigger one. So take a guess as to which one is the smaller. It's going to be b. So what's the opposite of the smaller? Well, if the smaller one is b, don't forget opposite means, in math, negative. So let's take a look and see if we did that right. The larger integer is 29 less than the opposite of the smaller. That's kind of a lot of words, but let's see if that makes sense. The opposite of the smaller is negative b, and then 29 less than the opposite of b is this, negative b minus 29. So it sounds like it makes a lot of sense to me, although it is a lot of words. Okay? So that's our translation. And then actually, now that you know how to do systems of equations, the actual math part is going to be nice and fun. That's going to be easy. So let's do the math. This is the part we've already done. This is where we look for opposite terms. And right away we got it. B and negative b are opposite terms. So we're going to add them up. This was the elimination we've been talking about. B minus b is 0. A plus a is 2a equals, and then 7 minus 29. Remember, that's 29 minus 7, but the bigger number is negative, so it's going to be a negative 22. Divide by 2, and a equals negative 11. Don't forget, when you're doing a system of equations, you have to get both numbers, so you're going to have to get an a and a b. So don't forget to substitute the a, just like we talked about, into one of these two. You could pick either one, and then you'll find out b. So that's a lot for just one problem, but hopefully that'll get you started with word problems.